Juken Sentai Geki Ranger or Beast Fist Squadron Geki Ranger, where Geki is difficult to translate without dispute, where it might mean fierce or attack or fierce attack, is the 31st of the Super Sentai series, and it is basically about Kung Fu Wildcats. We're not really kidding about this. You know how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are trained by a giant rat named Master Splinter? Well, the Geki Ranger are trained by a giant cat named Master Shafu. And also a human-sized elephant, a giant bat, an anthropomorphic shark who might give Master Roshi a run for his money with the ladies, a gorilla, a penguin, and a deer thingy. Geki Ranger is one of those Sentai rife with mythology and history, similar to shows like Shinkenger and Dai Ranger. There's a lot to the show that exists before the show. With respect to Geki Ranger, a lot of that has to do with the fundamental pretense of the production. This show is about a struggle for dominance between two diametrically opposed factions of the same core martial art, a split in a Jukin, Geki Jukin Beast Arts and Rin Jukin Akugata. The split between the two factions is very black and white, at least until a third faction, the Genjukin, is introduced into the story. Of course, the problem with Geki Ranger is in the introduction of this third party to the Geki Arts. A leader of the Mystical Fist is a dragon monster named Long, who is, spoilers, immortal to the point where he can't be beaten in battle, and I'm pretty sure he just comes back. Or he can't be killed, he won't die, he's literally the ever-living, unbeatable, unkillable, undefeatable. But as is the nature of Super Sentai, the Geki Ranger must inevitably win against him. This was a major point of frustration for me watching the show, because I don't think any show should ever create a character that is impossible to kill and then aim to kill him. Of course, by the end of the show, Long is naturally killed, he's just sealed in a boulder, which is stupid. As far as the Geki Ranger are concerned, the core team consists of your primary Sentai colours, Geki Red, Geki Blue and Geki Yellow, and they practice your Geki Jukin. Along come Geki Violet and Geki Chopper later in the series in drastically different costumes and practicing a drastically different art. Fierce Beast Wolf Fist and Fierce Beast Rhinoceros Fist respectively. Both a departure from our Wildcat motif of the core Geki members. We also have our Bangai heroes, a concept hitherto unexplored by Superhero Time in the practices of Rin, Juken, Ryo and Mere. But you might remember my praise of Shinkenger for its use of theme with respect to its narrative. I'm very, very cautious to give Geki Ranger the same praise. While until a certain point Geki Ranger does an excellent job of merging its theme with its narrative, it gets to the aforementioned point with Long where it all goes awry. Of course, until that point, Geki Ranger does a very excellent job of telling a very well constructed story. It very much separates its good and evil factions with a bit of grey in the middle and sets up a fantastic rivalry between Ryo and Geki Red, who's Jan, not Ran. Ran is yellow. You see, they've got very similar names, and I got confused there, as I got a lot confused while watching it, but I digress. The majority of my audience of Superhero Time would be, in fact, anime fans. I think I'm tempted, in fact, I'm going to recommend Geki Ranger to this audience because it's very reminiscent of Dragon Ball Z, to the point where the Geki Ranger actually had a sort of Super Saiyan mode. While I didn't necessarily appreciate the show for how much it felt like an anime, I feel like fans of AnimeBallZ might appreciate the show for the same reason that I failed to appreciate it. Of course, that might be construed as a silly reason to watch the show. I've just said I don't like it too much, but that you should watch it. It's all up until this one point where the show takes an awkward turn, and I begin to dislike it. Up until that point, Geki Ranger is very much one of the best installments in the Super Sentai series.